Yeah, I was probably around like 10 years old. Our neighbor would go hunting and then bring back these ducks.
Was this legal practice back then?
Yeah, like proper license, had a license, but it was just funny because they didn't know what to do with it, and so they'd bring it to my mom, and my mom would be like, okay, well, like you gotta pluck the thing, and you gotta like do all these things, and then make soup out of it or whatever.
She would get you guys to help too.
I think I just wanted to help. My brothers did not help. When I think back to what made me go into cooking, that moment of being in the kitchen, the newspapers everywhere, and then my mom just bringing like bags of ducks in and just like butchering them. I think it gave me an appreciation for food now that is very different because you see like the animal from start to finish. I think sourcing is actually the hardest part. Getting good duck is the first part. And when you have an exceptional farmer that brings you even more special batches of duck, the flavor is better. It has a little bit more like gaminess to it in a nice way. As when you start to source directly with farmers, then you start to find like, well, this just tastes better because the product quality is better.
And so obviously cost is not your first concern.
Well, cost is always a concern. I mean, running any restaurant, you have to be so mindful of costs, but I find that buying cheap quality product just to save on that makes it so that your end product is poor. I think it's well worth it, and you're supporting your local community as well. That's something that's always been important to me. But it's also just because that's how I've been cooking for over a decade now. It's kind of funny now in this current economy. It's trendy now. It's like, oh, we buy Canadian. It's like we're supporting our local economy. I'm like, we should have been doing this since day one. Like, why are we not buying our produce from local when we can? Like, obviously there's times when you can't. Like, we live in Canada, so I'm fully aware that we're unable to always be 100% local, but you know, as much as you can, when you can, like, why not? Why not buy the cabbage that comes from local farm in Alberta? The first thing we do is we always brine the duck, rinse it so there's not extra salt on the exterior, and then we dry it for usually at least 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks. Imagine something like a duck. It's usually quite tough, but because we dry age it, it becomes a lot more tender because the enzymes start to act in the meat itself. The dry aging allows for the skin to completely dry out and the meat loses a bit of moisture, and then you end up with more flavor.
You've gone way past 21?
We've gone way long, like we've gone 40 days on it before,
Wow.
but the meat gets really intense in flavor, and that's not for everyone. You get to a point where you're like, am I eating cheese or am I eating like meat? It's hard to tell sometimes. We render the skin first. We'll put it in a pan and we'll cook the fat out of the skin so you'll get some crispiness. And then we'll finish it on the grill. Normally most people won't cook duck on charcoal because of the fat dripping off, and then it would cause flare-ups, and then if you get this big fire essentially. But what makes charcoal grilling so good is that fat dripping into the coals is what releases all those aromatic compounds. So you actually want some of that fat dripping, but you just don't want it to turn into a bonfire. You have to control it very carefully, so that's what we try to do with our charcoal grills.
How would you describe the flavors that get into the meat?
Oh man, that one's hard. There's the scientific part of it, which is proven and shown that, you know, there's some aromatic compounds that just hit the meat that humans are naturally attracted to. On top of that, I find that you get the smokiness from the charcoal grill, so that adds another dimension. And then I find that it does add a certain level of like acidity and complexity to it too. Dry aging it, then grilling it, you're just gaining so many layers of flavor. So you're not adding anything to it, so we don't put any spices in our duck. It's just salt. We've had duck since pretty well opening. We've kept the duck on because I feel like the dry aging of the duck, there's only a few restaurants doing that, and most of them are like tasting menu places. So it's hard to just get in and like have a plate of duck and like have it dry aged and at a reasonable price, I think. This time around, we wanted to showcase just the duck itself and the fresh asparagus coming into spring here, and then some of our preserves. I always like mixing those preserves in from like last season. When you have like asparagus coming from Edgar Farms an hour away, you don't really need to do too much. It's a really good asparagus, really good duck. A little bit of seasoning, a little sauce, just a little bit of fermented cherries just gives it that acidity, and then everything's there. You don't really need much more than that. But we're gonna top it with a little cracker too that we made with hazelnuts and spruce.
Did you say spruce?
Spruce, yeah, like the tree.
Okay.
Spruce has a kind of a lime-like flavor to it. In the spring when they sprout, that's when you pick it, and then it tastes like a lime almost, like it's like Canadian lime. You only have it for a short period of time, so we pickled them all, and then it's like, what are we gonna do with it? But when you put them on a cracker, you get little bites of it, and you get the acidity from the pickling, of course. So you're gonna get like that limey, zesty flavor with the acidity of the vinegar, and then you got hazelnuts for that fattiness, and then you get the crisp. So when you're eating it, it's gonna have that like texture to it, because you already have crispy skin. But as you know, like the duck crispy skin is different than like a cracker crispy, right? It's a different texture entirely. We make them in house, so they're just big shards of cracker that we break, so it looks like an art kind of exhibit.
Oh, I'm done talking. Now I'm hungry.
What's the wine that you chose to go with it?
This is the Lake Breeze from Okanagan, Syrah.
Syrah?
Yeah, big and juicy, so it kind of complements the cherries and the duck. It's a big wine.
Right, cheers.
Yeah. A lot of like ripe cherry notes.
I love big wines.
Yeah. And you kind of need it with this amount of like, you know, fat and richness from the duck. But you can see like the cracker, because the duck will eventually soften, like the skin will eventually get soft after it cooks. It'll still be crisp, but it won't be like crunchy, because it's just the nature of cooking it directly on there. Like, it's not like Peking duck where you separate the skin, so it stays crispy, but it'll eventually get soft just from sitting on the plate. So then the cracker adds a nice texture to it, and it kind of absorbs the sauce too a little bit.
What is the jus?
So we take the duck bones after, and then make a stock and then reduce it down a little bit of red wine. It's a like classic just sauce, like using the duck. So we try to use every part of it. So that's kind of why I'm gonna have Ali plate up that croquette for you too, because then you can see top to bottom we're using the leg, you're confying it, you're using the breast, you're using the bones to make the sauce.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh,
I can't believe there's just salt on this. Like literally, you didn't put
sugar.
anything
Yeah,
else.
Sugar, a little bit just for the brine, but that's it.
My brain is playing
Flavorful.
tricks with me because I taste like 5 spice. Like I taste things that I know that aren't in here.
And then the jelly is the cherry in there. We did add some chili powder to that too. It's not going to be spicy, but it's going to have like a flavor to it. Like it's not there to make it spicy. It's there to give it like a different dimension to it. So some layers and flavor. It's all about just the duck. And
It definitely
everything
shines.
complements the duck. The
Really
asparagus
does.
complements the duck. Everything's complementing the duck, and that's it. So that's why we kind of went to this version of it, and it feels more spring-like too.
Spruce tips.
Yeah, so you can actually see the actual bits of the spruce in the cracker there.
We're doing a video about duck, but like you could do a video about the cherries. You could do a video about the cracker. You could do a video about the jus. You know, those are like
You could
hilarious.
do a video
Every
of me
element.
climbing a tree and like try plucking the fucking spruce.
That
in
would
it.
make good theater.
Yeah.
As you're describing it, I'm tasting it. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect asparagus. That's perfect cherry. And then it's almost like you take it for granted when you have it all together. It's like, okay, I get it. Like it's a perfect performance almost, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And I think, yeah, when it comes together and you taste it and everything kind of meshes together, then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like that's, as a dish, it makes sense. And then that's when usually like, I'm like, okay, that's a good dish. Like we don't have to mess with it. My mom always did say, she was like, it's so strange. Like as a kid, you just wanted to be in the kitchen. And like, I remember burning my hand on the, the rice cooker. You know, the steam's like coming on and you're like, whoa, cool. Burnt all my fingernails, like, ah! I still remember that. It was so funny because I'm like, it's so memorable, right? Because you remember that as a kid, you're like, what? Like, why are you so dumb? Like, then you remember forever that steam is really hot.
I just saw your chef hands touching the duck right out of the fire, touching the, like, and it's still bubbling, and like you now have chef hands, so you actually have no feeling whatsoever. It looks beautiful. What is the sauce?
So plum hoisin. So we ferment plums just like we do the cherries, and then when you ferment any fruit, it adds so much brightness to it, and like because of the salt too, it balances all the sweetness. And then we mix in hoisin sauce to it, so it tastes like Peking duck. So we call it Peking duck croquettes, but it's just like an homage to like Peking duck, the flavors of it. So you'll get kind of the flavors of Peking duck, but then in a different format entirely. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna give this to Ali to taste because this is the first time she.
Of course.
Good try. That should taste super good with the cracker and the jelly. The jelly is really good.
It's just like Peking duck.
Peking duck.
It's crazy. It's like so good. The thighs is so good.
Good.
it's just like Peking duck. Like
It gives you that weird feeling, right?
totally.
That's the
like,
first time I tried it. I was
It's
like,
just wild.
well, it's funny because I made it, but the first time I tried it, I was like, there's something weird going on with it.
It's like if you took the whole Peking duck minus the wrapper, but just put it all in a ball and made an entire mouthful out of it. It's like it's all there. It's wild.
You put a little truffle on the inside, so it gives you that like.
Oh, even more, yeah.
It's like a little more luxurious.
It's so
rich.
subtle, but you
It's
get
subtle,
it.
Yeah.
Now that you said it,
You
it's
put
there.
truffle in this?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is Peking duck with truffle.
Truffle. Yeah.
You forgot that little tidbit there in your earlier description.
Right.
It's
sorry.
so good. It is so good.
Because it just adds a little like richness to it. So like when you eat it, you're like, it's Peking duck, but then it's got that like hint of truffle at the end.
It
like in
is
the mouth, though.
really impressive.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and then the people love the hoisin, so we put a lot on there because people go back and like mop it in there, right? Well, usually people make croquettes, it's usually full of like potato or like filler.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, we're making it like you gotta taste chunks of meat in there. Like you want.
Wow.
And it doesn't taste, like overly fried or, because sometimes croquettes are just greasy. But this is like pure, just ducky goodness, like unctuous.
Thank you so much. It was
You
amazing.
Definitely, I think you.
We've told friends about your duck, and they've come and been blown away by your duck. And so you can't take that off the menu either now.
No, I don't think I will though, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope people start recognizing you for all that you've spoken about, because it really is something very special. I think that Calgary needs more of, and hopefully that people will have more of an interest in and curiosity about.
Definitely a wow dish. And so thank you, Chef.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's always nice cooking for you guys.